Ja, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe C-Talk und Sie sehen es, ich bin wieder bei einem Interview und ich habe heute eine ganz spannende Company, MustGrow, und vielleicht können Sie sich noch erinnern, ich habe im September 2020 diese Company bereits einmal oder habe ein Startinterview geführt, damals mit dem Colin. Und die Company hat damals getradet bei ungefähr 30, 35, 40 Cent. War extrem spannende Story. Sie haben quasi, es geht um Unkrautvernichter, oder eigentlich Unkrautvernichter ist falsch. Es geht um Schädlingsbekämpfungsmittel. Und Sie wissen, dass Schädlingsbekämpfungsmittel ja normalerweise sehr viel Chemikalien drinnen haben. Und die haben aber ein Schädlingsbekämpfungsmittel, die eigentlich auf natürlicher Basis ist, also ohne Chemikalien und so, kommt aus dem Senfkorn und extrem spannend. Und heute habe ich den CEO in Giasson bei mir und er wird mir die Company, was wir in den letzten 1,5 Jahren getan haben. Corey, thank you for your time, and I said in my German introduction this was as an update. I do the last interview with Colin, your CEO of the company, it was in September 2020, and remember me that the share price was trading at 35 cents around. But since then, you have an unbelievable really run. Your share price is going up dramatically. You're trading around 340, so 10 times higher. So unbelievable performance. And maybe you can give us an idea what was the reason why the share price is going up so dramatically.
Yeah, it's been a great almost year and a half since you guys did that interview. I think a lot of it has to do with it's just good timing. It's a good time to be in agriculture and let alone sustainable agriculture. Mm-hmm. People are going to continue to eat. In fact, I had breakfast this morning and I'll do it again tomorrow. And the industry is starting to really move toward more sustainable type technology. So us at MustGrow, we're very fortunate to have the technology that we do have. And we think we're in the right place at the right time. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, and you have really very interesting deals, or you're coming up with very interesting deals in the meantime. So also with big names, but a little bit later then. The first really big announcement for me was this in May last year, where you're coming up with that your system or your product is really working with these greenhouse trials for one of the diseases that's in German we call Wurzelfäule. I have no clue what this is in English, but when we see the pictures, it looks like that your product is really working. And I think this is a big driver for the share price, that you have a product that really works.
Exactly. I mean, the disease that you're referring to is root rot. What causes root rot? The disease is Aphanomyces. And it's wreaking havoc here in Western Canada, where I'm from, Saskatchewan. It's a large pulse-growing province. It grows pulses such as lentils or peas. And this disease is affecting these very high cash crops for these farmers. It's affected other areas of the world too. Like I believe Wisconsin has a lot of Aphanomyces in areas of Europe, Germany, and France. I believe they no longer grow peas there because of this disease. So the disease basically cuts off the roots to the plant, and proof's in the pudding. Those pictures say a lot about how our product, our technology is working at controlling that disease. And proof will be even more when we look at yields. And to move from the greenhouse to the lab, we were working with our partner Nexus Bioag here in Western Canada to do field trials now. Those were done this past summer and fall here in Western Canada. So we're waiting on those results. Hopefully they come back just as positive with what we've seen in the greenhouse. But to have successful results like we did in the greenhouse and have those pictures makes us quite excited to see what it's going to do in the field.
But your product is real natural. Nothing like chemicals and so on. Okay, but
it is a chemical, but it's derived from food grade mustard. You eat it.
yeah.
It's not a synthetic chemical. It's not made in a lab or in a facility. Our product is derived from food grade mustard. The natural chemical is released in the environment from the plant.
Okay, so and the next big announcement was really when you're coming up with agreement with Sumitomo. I think the people know Sumitomo, and this was always in the beginning. I remember when I have this interview with Colin, there's a little bit skeptical about that a small company. And this market is really huge, and you have big players like Sumitomo, Bayer, and so on. Can you survive in this environment as a small company? And this was my biggest problem, what I have, or my biggest concern, what I have that as a small company, it's really a chance against these big giants. But then you're coming up with one deal with one big company. Yeah, and maybe you can fill us in what the deal is and how it looks like and how the relationship with them works.
Yeah, so yeah, we were quite excited to announce that deal with Sumitomo. It's a collaboration on field trials, basically across our whole product pipeline, all the crops, all the pre-plant fumigation of soil for certain crops such as fruit and vegetables, the non-selective herbicide portion of it, and a little bit on the post-harvest side relating to bananas and potatoes. And now the region is in the Americas, so North America, Central America, and South America. The only thing that's out of that mix would be the Canadian pulses and canola, which we're dealing with Nexus on. So the way I look at it, Joe, is our objective here. We own the technology. We have the patents around the technology. Us as a small company, but there's only a few individuals that are working on this directly with the company. We're utilizing outside help and outside consultants or companies to help us show the path to commercialization of our technology, whether that be in fumigating strawberries in the U.S. or treating bananas in Colombia, for Physical TR4. So when I look at doing a deal with Sumitomo, that provides a lot to our company. First of all, it provides validation that some of these ag chem companies that are involved in these industries are looking for natural, sustainable products. The second thing it does is it brings an R&D team to MustGrow to collaborate with MustGrow that we don't have. And you have R&D teams in just about every country in these regions that we're able to go and utilize and help utilize their expertise, not only from an R&D perspective of our technology, but also an R&D from what kind of application methods or techniques can be used, what combination of products can be used to help fight these diseases or pests. And I think the second pillar would be is on the regulatory side, the regulatory team. Which is key. And as I mentioned, our objective is to create value for our shareholders, try to define a path to commercializations. Sumitomo also has the distribution team to help get this product into the market once a product is commercialized. So a great partner, and we're very excited to work with them.
And the second announcement was that Sumitomo, you expand this program with them. And I think this also shows that not only you believe in Sumitomo, it also shows that Sumitomo believes in you. Then I think without them, you not expand the program.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, they're not going to waste their time or money or effort. And we're quite excited that the results that they did have on their initial field work, and to be able to take those results and then get excited about moving it into Mexico or other countries in South America. Again, we're a small team. We wouldn't be doing that right now if it wasn't for groups like Sumitomo. So very exciting for MustGrow. We're expanding a lot faster than what we could do on our own.
And the last press release was very interesting. And I remember that I talked with Colin in the last interview that if you are now a competitor of Bayer or not, and then you're coming up last week with announcement that you have an exclusive agreement with Bayer. so that you work now in Europe and Asia with Bayer on some products. So that is, I think, especially from European standpoint, a very big announcement.
Yeah, it's a huge announcement. It's just like with Sumitomo, we're very excited to be working with Bayer now, and we're going global. We're not just focused on the Americas. We want our technology to be in every part of the world. We think this has a great fit for Europe, with all the chemicals that have been banned and deregistered in Europe. What are farmers going to use? We think our technology has a great fit there. What better partner to have is Bayer. Let's talk about Asia, Middle East, same thing. Africa, there's depleted soils in some of these countries in these areas because of the chemicals that have been used. If you look at India, we think dealing with Bayer in these areas is going to be excellent for our technologies and help us get this technology commercialized globally a lot faster than what we can do on our own.
And that is a really good point. This is all history. And the history we see in the share price, and the share performance was unbelievable for the last 1.5 years. So, but for a shareholder is more important what brings the future. So what we can expect in the next 6 to 9 months, 12 months from the company, also from these contracts, what we can expect.
Well, I mean, again, our partners are going to continue to do work. They're putting money in the ground for us on our behalf, continuing to do the R&D. So it's not just going to be in the U.S. like we have focused on in the past. We're working with Sumitomo in the Americas. We look forward to getting results there. And now with Bayer on the other side of the world from MustGrow. So we're going to be looking forward to the work that they're doing. In addition, we also have the bottom part of that pipeline where we haven't spent a lot of work. We think there's a huge opportunity there. I know Bayer is going to be working on potato sprouting stuff for us, which is significant because Europe has banned that chemical CIPC back in October of 2020. They banned that chemical. So what are farmers going to use for potato sprouting? They're going to be working on that. But what about the bacteria, the E. coli, the salmonella that is found in food, these foodborne pathogens? We're going to be doing more work there, maybe some work around containers and fumigating shipping containers. So I see more work happening in these areas. On the regulatory side, we continue to work with the EPA in the U.S. And now working with Sumitomo there too. That's quite exciting. So we see the tires starting to move there. Which is good. But what about other countries? What about Mexico? If we see positive results down there, why don't we get our product registered there as soon as possible? So we see a lot of exciting stuff coming from MustGrow over the next year and going forward. And it's a good time to be in sustainable agriculture. And in our technology, it's very unique. And I think people around the world are going to recognize that this is great.
I have no really clue about the regulation stuff around this area. So how long did normally the process? So we know exactly when we go to a pharma industry, it's take long from first trial and so on up to phase 3 years. So, but what is in your area? How long did the process? How long are we, or when we can expect the first product really on the market?
Yeah, it's tough for us to guess how long it's going to take. I mean, typically with a synthetic chemical, it could take upwards of 5 to 7 years. Maybe even longer in Europe because they're a lot tougher regulatory environment. With natural biologics, they tend to take about a year, or sorry, 2 to 3 years. In North America. I'm hopeful within the next year or so we'll have potentially a registered product. I will say with the EPA in the U.S. things have slowed down. We're seeing a lot more slowdown because of the COVID and all that kind of stuff. But things are starting to move, and we're excited to have a partner like Bayer involved. Sumitomo in the U.S. involved, utilizing their regulatory help. Lots of good stuff happening there. And again, with Europe, what better partner to have with Bayer when it comes to the regulatory as well. So we're quite excited, and hopefully things start moving quicker than what they have been.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is the regular stuff, but we know exactly that these studies and so on, also when you have partners with like Sumitomo and Bayer, it's cost money. So in the meantime, before you have a product on the market, you need money to can run the company. Do you have enough money to run the company up to a potential product on the market so that you can live out of the cash flow?
Yeah, based on our budgeting, yes, we do. We're sitting on about $9.5 million Canadian as of right now. So we've got enough money on hand for the next 4 to 5 years based on our current burn, which is enough time to get a registration. In addition, that 9.5, that doesn't also include the money that Sumitomo is spending or Bayer is spending in the particular regions on R&D and that. So we're sitting in a very good place right now in terms of our cash position.
So to summarize a little bit, what we can expect for the next 12 months is news flow out of Sumitomo and Bayer cooperation, what they are coming up with some results, R&D, or is it possible that they say that the results are too good and to give not too many information outside, you are not allowed to use this stuff? Is this possible, or is the deal so that you can use also their R&D for your press releases that you can announce something?
Yeah, no, that part of our agreement is that we're allowed to announce. It's the information that is being gathered is our information, and we'll be able to announce it. That being said, anything could potentially happen. I don't foresee them being that kind of partner. These guys are great to work with and good partners. But if there's something that's too good, that's a good thing too.
Yeah, that's the point. Okay, Corey, I think it was a really great update, and we talk many things about the story, and I think you have really a bright future. So it's really interesting to listen to your story. Good luck with all the stuff with also the cooperation with Sumitomo and Bayer. And it's very interesting. Then I think it's really a product that the market is really need.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot for your time, Joe, and appreciate the interview. And the way I look at it is, my kids, they eat strawberries, and what better strawberries to eat than something that's made from, or helped produce from natural products. And it's a very exciting time to be with MustGrow and get our product commercialized.
Ja, thank you for the interview. Really great. Ja, das war ein Interview von MustGrow und das war wirklich extrem spannend. Kommen wir mal gleich zum Aktienkurs. Der Aktienkurs, das letzte Interview war im September 2020 mit Colin, der ist der CEO von dem Unternehmen, und Sie brauchen sich den Chart nur anschauen, die Company hat sich verzehnfacht. Der Grund, warum sie sich eigentlich verzehnfacht hat, ist relativ einfach. Sie produzieren, oder eher ein Produkt ist es, ein natürliches Pflanzenschutzmittel. So, das ist das richtige Wort, vor dem habe ich gesucht. Und wir sehen hier auf dem Foto, hier ist es mit einer hohen Rate quasi von ihrem Pflanzenschutzmittel, und hier ist eigentlich eine Pflanze, die diese Krankheit nicht hat. Diese Krankheit ist in Kanada und so weiter sehr weit verbreitet, und daher war das halt dort ein sehr, sehr großer Deal. Und interessant ist auch, Sie haben dann gleich danach einen Deal gehabt mit Sumitomo, denn Sumitomo kennen wir, ist eine große Company, vor allem für die Americans, also Nordamerika, Mittelamerika und Südamerika. Dann haben sie diesen Deal auch noch erweitert. Das ist ein sehr, sehr gutes Zeichen. Das heißt ja, dass Sumitomo dran glaubt, und es glaubt auch dann an das Produkt glaubt, sonst würden sie das nicht erweitern. Und was richtig dann der Kracher war natürlich letzte Woche, dass sie einen Deal gehabt haben mit Bayer, nämlich für die Region Europa, Asien und Afrika und Nahosten, also Mittlerer Osten. Also jetzt haben sie das quasi Sumitomo und Bayer quasi aufgeteilt. Das ist natürlich extrem vorteilhaft. Er hat selber auch im Interview gesagt, sie sparen sich natürlich extrem viel Forschung, R&D, weil die für denen natürlich sehr viel arbeiten. Und der zweite Punkt ist regulatorisches Teil, weil der regulatorische Ding darf man nicht unterschätzen. Bis dass man so ein Pflanzenschutzmittel zulassen kann, ist dies natürlich auch ein gewisser regulatorischer Prozess. Er sagt, in Europa ist es schwieriger als wie in Amerika. Ist klar, wir sind ja ein bisschen reguliert oder wir verstehen das Regulieren richtig. Von daher ist Bayer natürlich ein perfekter Partner und Sumitomo auch ein perfekter Partner in ganz Americans. Und ein Zulassungsprozess bei einem chemischen Produkt, also synthetisch-chemisch erzeugtes Produkt, ist zwischen 5 und 7 Jahren und bei einem natürlichen Produkt zwischen 2 und 3 Jahren. Er hofft, dass er in den nächsten Jahren, also ich würde sagen, geben wir am lieber 1,5 Jahre oder 2 Jahre, ein Produkt auf den Markt hat. Was mich dann zur Frage gebracht hat, ist, hat er genug Cash, damit er das übersteht? Er hat, how many shares you are outstanding? Have you outstanding?
Yeah, we got about 47 million shares, basic shares, about 54 million fully diluted.
Okay, 54 Millionen haben es fully diluted und sie haben über 9 Millionen Cash. Das reicht aus, er hat gesagt, mit der aktuellen Burnrate, was sie haben, für die nächsten 4-5 Jahre. Also die Produkte sollten am Markt sein, ohne dass die Company irgendwelche Troubles kriegt. Was natürlich sensationell ist oder wirklich gut ist, mit zwei so großen Partnern haben sie natürlich auch die Distribution gleich unter Kontrolle und das ist natürlich ein Riesenvorteil. Das heißt, wenn dann die Produkte zugelassen werden, wenn die Produkte dann auch auf dem Markt sind, ist das eigentlich ein Cash-Cow. Das rennt dann einfach dahin. Sie haben gar nicht so viel Arbeit, weil eigentlich die Arbeit dann Sumitomo und Bayer macht. Was mich dann allerdings auf den Punkt bringt, gehen die nicht her und schnappen sie dann theoretisch mal die Company. Und mit zwei so großen Playern haben sie eigentlich zwei super Kandidaten, die das machen können. Ja, das war es eigentlich von dem Interview. Extrem spannend. Ich könnte mich im Hintern beißen, dass ich die Aktie damals nicht gekauft habe bei 35 Cent. Ich weiß noch, hat mir extrem gut gefallen, ist am Anfang auch gefallen und auf einmal hat es die 500% Move hingelegt und dann ich habe eigentlich erwartet, dass die Aktie retour kommt, hat sie aber nicht. Und dadurch bin ich nicht reingegangen und ich ärgere mich halt also wahnsinnig, weil wenn du dann für 10-fache hast, hast du dein Geld schon mal wieder rausgenommen und du wärst nur immer mit einem Haufen Stückzahl dabei. Also wirklich zum Hintern beißen. Aber ist so ist das Investment-Business und da muss man halt einfach durch. Ja, das war ein Update von MustGrow am 28. Jänner 2022 und ja, wir hören uns in Kürze. Tschüss und Baba, pfiat euch. Corey, thank you for the interview.
Yeah, thank you, Joe.